Hello, everyone. I was going to talk about cartoons and, something to lighten the mood over yesterday, but there's something I wanted to really get off my chest. You know what's weird, though? I see the same tweaker walking up across the street every single day. Like yesterday and today, I've seen a person around the same time of recording this walking down across the street, like the same exact tweaker. But anyway, look, and I just wanted to say something about this, give my 2 cents about this, because I've been kind of thinking about this very negatively. But what have I been thinking about? Okay, so like Hurricane Harvey, right? Now, I already said something very controversial, like I always am. I keep it real. I condemned a whole state just because DDC moved out there last week. For those of you who don't know DDC, I'm not going to bore you with the details. That ship has sailed. She's gone. Hopefully she'll, pass on, and, I'll start being happy again that the wickedness has disappeared from this world. Now, what I do want to say, sorry, I saw some chick over there, but anyway, so I want to be very careful in how I say this. I just want to preface it by saying, before I don't want to waste any more time, but I got to let it be known. I am a Christian man. I am conflicted, very conflicted. I want to believe that I am the way that a lot of Christians should be. It's okay to have weaknesses, it's okay to have insecurities, and more importantly, it's okay to pick and choose your battles and believe what you want to believe and seek your own truths. That being said, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this whole Hurricane Harvey situation. More specifically, the hurricane, it is still happening, or it happened, and we can't change that. Now, why I bring this up is because this last week has been something really weird, This has a little bit to do with Floyd Money Mayweather, who beat Rocky Marciano's record in professional boxing over this last weekend, which is freaking huge. Congratulations to the guy. If he paid anybody or whatever he did, if this is an illusion or if this is a miracle or if this is a feat of accomplishment, I take nothing away from the guy. Huge respect, huge props and congratulations, because Rocky Marciano was a real-life boxer who Rocky Balboa, the character, actually was inspired and motivated to become, one of those icons in that story, heavily influenced by Rocky Marciano, thus the first name Rocky. Now, the interesting thing about it is that people want to talk about how, Conor McGregor is a racist and a homophobe, and how Floyd Mayweather had beat up, how he had beat up 4 different women, or he'd been convicted 4 times of assault towards a woman. But those same people who bring up that point about Mayweather specifically are the same people who ignored that he it's been rumored, I don't know if it's true or not, but they said that he's donated $200 million to this cause. Now, why do I say this? Okay, so in the Bible, there's something about a false deity that has to do primarily with money, possessions, gold, etc. Ow! Stepped on a couple rocks, my bad. Ow, jeez. Oh, that hurts. But I came out here because you get an instant dry off out here. It's really hot, and I just took a shower. That's why my hair looking like Augustine. He can rock it. I can't. This ain't for me, fam. I gotta shave this. But the reason why I say this is because people are asking now. People who don't live in Texas are asking, "Oh, what are we gonna do for those people in Houston that were hit with Hurricane Harvey?" I mean, surely the church will open up their doors, right? Oh no, they won't. But they also ignore the fact that the same guy who they brought up was a woman beater because they were trying to defend Kaepernick and his anti-freedom, his anti-American gesture. The way I took it, I'm not paid or endorsed by either party, Democrat, Republican, Federalist, I don't give a damn. None of it applies to me. But that's just how I feel. I feel like it was a huge disrespect and a huge spit in the face to any veteran who can't stand for the national anthem. I feel like he didn't like the... To me, it came off as if he was spitting in the face of veterans. It may not have been his message that he wanted to get across, but it is what it is. It happened. Now, why I say this is because Joel Osteen, who apparently is this, huge mega pastor. I'm not going to even front like I don't know who he is, because I remember when I was 10 years old, there was a book, a Christian book, that my Christian foster parents had actually had in their possession with his big mug on it. And I know that he's a pastor of a church, and he spits these keys to success and whatnot when it comes to following God and having a huge relationship with Him, and being buddies with Him. Now, I'm just going to say it right off the bat. I don't know Joel Osteen's teachings. I didn't even know that he had some type of huge church in Texas. From looking at him, he looked like a cheap car salesman, like an Honest John. An ironic name, an Honest John that would sell me a car with sugar in the gas tank. That's the face that I see, and maybe it's bad for me to judge, but just letting you know, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't like Mayweather. I don't like Joel Osteen, but even more so, I don't like the people that are complaining about this. Folks, this isn't our battle to fight. You got to understand that this whole problem is that they're saying, oh, well, here's a guy who, basically is kind of like a modern day Baal, kind of a false deity, if you follow the good book. I'm not saying you have to or you need to. I'm just educating you on what Baal is, a simple understanding of what Baal is, because in comparison to a actual follower of God, did more to help the church, not the church, did more to help the people than the church did. So, people need to understand that you got to separate the individuals from the faith, because we are all sinners. I mean, even me, I'm not even, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a pastor, I don't even go to church every Sunday. Actually, if you want to know the truth, I'm only cool with 5 people in my church group, and one of those 5 people is actually my barber. So, it is what it is. Those people came off as fake to me after 2 years. I'm not even going to get into that. The point being here that I'm trying to make, that I want everybody to understand, is that you got to separate the individual from the faith, because there are other people I've listed who use the ruse and use the guise of, if it's in God's plan, it must happen. Guys like, David Berg, who wanted his followers to prostitute themselves, or he manipulated other people to convince them. This is real. River Phoenix and his whole family was a part of this before he really became this huge movie star. That David Berg developed this cult where basically either the followers needed to prostitute themselves, or the people they tried to manipulate had to prostitute themselves. In other words, they needed to have sex with David Berg or with the followers to try and get a right relationship with God. Not how that works. David Koresh, Jim Jones, 2 people who believed that they were the ears, they were the quote-unquote the Metatron of God, the second man, the angel that is able to get a direct speaking to him. They even believed they were messiahs. Victor Bernard, who I brought up on the pilot episode of Force the Issue, another guy who manipulated other people for sex under the guise of God. So I'm saying separate the individual and not the faith, because everybody wants to bring up the tax exemption. Everybody wants to bring up, churches are supposed to help. They're tax exempt so they can help others. But people need to really understand there's really 2 types of Christians when you break it down. And I'm going to be very quick with this because I've only got 40 seconds left. I want to let it be known that there are 2 types of Christians in this world. There are the quote-unquote, the ones you call the Bible thumpers, the God hates fags, Westboro Baptists, individuals. There are those, like Joel Osteen, who has all this money and all this fame and all this fortune but doesn't want to help others. That's a decision and a mistake that they make on their own. But then there's guys like me. There's Christians out there that are nice people that want to help other people. I've been stabbed in the back way too many times, so I'm saying forget all the people because they've talked trash and disrespected me and betrayed me, but that's not the point. There are some people out here that are tolerable and will talk to you and will help you understand that in this world, just like with Christians, just like other people, regulars, in the quote-unquote, it's called the secular world. There are people in the secular world who don't give a damn about you, dude. And that's the harsh reality that we need to get over. These people in Houston, I'm not going to say thoughts and prayers because I know that's useless. I hope everything works out okay for them. Okay, that's what I'll say. I hope that everything works out okay. I hope that there's not a whole lot of casualties. I don't know. Again, I'm blind to this. But I want to stress it more than anything else because people are going to think that I'm going to say good. I said that in frustration. I apologize for that. It's a huge misunderstanding. Just because Diane Hare is out in Texas and I want her to die so badly so I can hold a pizza party after her funeral, just because I feel that way about that individual doesn't mean that all Christians feel that way about what's going on in Houston. Which, by the way, everybody made fun of is like Texas was like the most racist state. People know that Texas is conservative. George Bush is from Texas. But yet, we forget that because nowadays kids are growing up and not understanding this whole political thing. Why are they called parties if nothing about politics is any fun? I'm going on and on, but I really want to leave you guys with this. As a Christian, as a loose Christian, okay? I'm a guy who's, there's some Christians just like me that still smoke cigarettes, and have tattoos, and, have a little bit of drink, not enough to, poison their own minds, all of us don't dabble in heroin or dope. You got to understand there are two types of Christians out there. There are the quote-unquote extreme conservatives, and then there's the other ones who are a little bit more liberal, I guess would be, it's a bad word to say, but a little bit more free-thinking, a little bit more carefree, and that's me, folks. That's me. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that every single Christian is good. I've been the first person since day one to tell you it's not good. Like, not every single one of us is good. There's people who believe that Harry Potter, worships witchcraft, and, even those foster parents I grew up with who thought the Pokemon was the devil. People will tell you, dude, I'm a freaking undisputed, not undisputed, but I'm an underrated Pokemon champion. But I don't want to get too off topic. Understand that all you can do is silently hope for the best. Because people are going to pick whatever story they want to believe, and everything's a damn conspiracy theory, and there's only two words that I can tie together that really describe those type of people who are so closed-minded to think everything's a conspiracy, and everything's about race, everything is political, everything is about religion, and showing the hypocrisies of religion. Silly bitches. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. I gotta do more of these. Because I enjoy talking to people, even though I don't think a lot of people really care. Anyway, this has been me, Larry, the American Dirtbag.